get recorded.
Where
Is
the
this
other?
the singer, Selena
Yes.
Gomez? Okay.
Yeah, and she's from Texas.
I didn't realize that she was doing such good work for mental well-being.
Me either.
Well, you know, she had a breakdown. She has lupus, and she didn't know it, but she also was bipolar. And from when she was a little girl, push, 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 surprise, act for people and stuff, she kept breaking down inside. And no one ever discussed all the emotions with her. So now she said she's dedicating herself to philanthropy. And she's
Wow.
from Texas. I
Yeah,
would bet,
she is
Lacey,
Corpus
that she would
Christi.
even
Corpus
come to
Christi.
your school or something. She's like totally into it.
That would be amazing.
Because I love what you're doing. That
Yeah.
is so important. EQ, I mean,
Yeah, they're actually supporting mothers too. So they have like a in-between housing thing where the parents stay and they provide school and
so
they
good.
get them rehabilitated with job skills and like changing the whole structure for lifting up the family.
That's wonderful, Lacey.
yeah.
You must be exhausted.
Opportunity School is the
We
name
are.
of the school. They're doing really good work. I think, you know what, Mayor, let's dive into it because I want to respect your time and maybe people are just worn out. Who knows? I apologize that
That's
my
okay.
people
We
are
had
not there.
we
Yeah,
had
yeah,
another
Angela's
person.
coming. Okay, somebody's coming.
We had
This is
another
also
person's son.
Lacey's
Okay.
group.
Yeah.
So I think we get started and whoever joins, and we'll put the recording up. And I wish there were more live people, but I want to respect your time, Mayor. So take it away.
Thank you. But I know I'd seen someone else sign in and then they disappeared.
Yeah,
So
Laura was just checking the links because she was making sure she is worn out. She told me today she's had a very long day. So she is just checking the link to support her team. But
okay, cool.
okay.
Hi,
Hi,
what's up?
Angela.
Hi, I'm here listening, but I'm driving, so I'm gonna listen to it.
Oh,
Thank
that's a
you
good
for
idea to
coming.
listen and not watch.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, so I'm gonna listen to it. So if you don't see me, that's why I'm driving.
Okay, cool.
And Angela, nice to meet you. And if you want to see the slides, I sent them to Prerna, and unless you want me to turn them into PDF, and then you
Yeah,
can share
maybe
them.
whatever we use, you can turn it into PDF and Alan can
The
upload it
one
on master
the
Yes,
one- Okay.
yes, that'd be great.
do that.
Awesome.
I'm going to mute and I'm going to hand it over to you.
Do you want me to put myself on spotlight?
You
Like this?
can do whatever makes your heart happy. You're the expert.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, hi, Lacey and Angela and Alan and Prerna. I'm honored that Prerna asked me to be a part of this wonderful company that she's built. I remember when you were just like starting to do the consulting on a bigger level, and wow, good job. Wonderful. My name is Marianne Harmon, and I love music and got so into reading about and figuring out the brain research behind why music is so helpful. So I did a TED Talk on the topic, and I wrote a book. It's my book, Building Brains with Music, which Erna is nice enough to have on the website. And one thing, just to put this out from the beginning, is when people buy the book, you can download all the songs I mentioned for free. It's part of the cost. So you get a
Hey,
code.
1 second. I'm going to mute everybody else because I hear background noise and it's kind of conflicting with yours. So I'll mute and then you can unmute. Okay, now you can unmute. Hopefully it'll just be your voice now.
Okay.
Got it.
There we go. Okay, so anyway, music is the first of the multiple intelligences to awaken in every human being. Howard Gardner attributed it as the first to awaken. And from the moment you have that very first heartbeat, that thump, 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 that's a rhythm. And that's a rhythm that carries you through your entire life. You feel that rhythm, and that it is that rhythm and that pulsing that allows a child to eventually start standing up and walking. and all one and talking. You get that rhythm, that meter, all comes from the original heartbeat. And it's really interesting because moms, and sorry, dads, but moms, when they first get the baby in their arms, after the baby comes out, they just instinctually hold them there and start moving to that heartbeat. And it's interesting that every person in the world sings the same interval. They go la 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 la, and they found that birds do it too. Birds sing the same interval. It's called a minor third, and it's very soothing, and that's why Brahms then built a whole lullaby around it. So from this very beginning is where we start to develop, and it's all because of the musicality that is built into our being. So we have music in our lives from the get-go. We enjoy music. We have music playing in our homes. Every single movie that comes out has a soundtrack to it. Some of them have songs that we can't get out of our heads. They play them so many times. But then when we get into the classroom, in the beginning years, there's a lot of music, get those kids moving, and all of a sudden around second grade, it's like, stop. We have to be good in math, we have to be good in science, and you're not going to be able to be good in those subjects if you use too much music. Well, that's ridiculous, because music is math and music is science. So I have a whole Facebook page dedicated to that, and we can put it in the chat or post it, but it's called Music with Mare's Brain Facts. And every day I post a different brain fact, and I love sharing them. And the other day I got so excited because I saw one person wrote, I hope everybody is saving these and laminating them and posting them in their classroom and switching them out so the parents can keep seeing these. And yes, because we as teachers, educators, parents, people in general that just want to learn about it, unless it gets into the classroom and then home to the parents, it doesn't do anything. We need to have people hear what we're saying. So I want to show
right now. I'll add it to the chat. Just keep going. I'll do it right now.
Okay, so I want to, here's my share. Okay, so Fred and I was just talking about this, how haven't done this in a couple of months, so all of a sudden you're like, where'd it go? Can you see it yet? No.
I see your slides.
You do? Okay, because
Well,
I
I
don't.
just see the brain building.
Yeah,
the-
okay.
Yeah, the title slide.
Okay, so our brain easily can switches from side to side when it has to. But typically, somebody that is more left-brained might see the boy looking in one direction or straight ahead. So whether you're right or left-brained, you see a different version of this picture. Musicians can easily switch back and forth because for music, you have to use both sides of your brain. So this is the the meme that I use for talking about what I was just saying about rhythm is the element of music that has the greatest effect. It starts from the first heartbeat. And it's interesting that human brain is innately responsible to rhythm. Why is it going the wrong way? Sorry. Let me get back to where I was. We are the only mammal that can find and keep a beat, that we tap our toe. All right. So music is helpful no matter whether we are learning, and I'm going to get more into that in a minute, or whether we are or for health purposes or emotional health purposes. So I always like to do a song with people where they have to shake. And I usually get everybody up in the workshop. As you could see, this was a workshop where the parents brought the kids with them and we all had family fun together. And then I told them, there was a preschool or two in here too, where what we were doing and why we were doing it. And the kids were just having so much fun. But when you shake, like I'm just going to sing a little bit of the song. And you go, shake it, shake what you got. Shake it a lot. And the song will tell you, shake your hands, 1, 2, 3. Solamente manos, just the hands. Shake your hands, shake them with me. And we shake, okay? So what are we doing there? We're building vocabulary. We're learning about shaking our body. We're learning about controlling our body. And everybody knows that a 2-year-old or 3-year-old will not just shake their hands. Their whole body is going to be moving. But the other part of it is that we also are helping to move toxins out of the bloodstream. So music is holistic, Lacey, and because you are teaching in that one song, this is the magic of music. The magic of music is that one song not only teaches vocabulary, body control, awareness of space around you, connecting with the other people that are dancing and or singing with you or both, but also activates the lymphatic system that moves toxins out of the body. So the Chinese people understood the connection between health and music so much that the symbols for music and medicine in the Chinese language are almost identical. So they really use it for health. Now,
I have no idea. That's so cool.
It really got me too when I saw, and I think I have that somewhere in the slides, but I wanted to get away from them for a moment. So I wanted to say that if anybody has questions or there was something that you said, you know, I'm not just going to hop on because I'm going to do it for Prerna to be there for her and support her, but I really wanted to know this about music. And just also to, you know, I've never been to visit Prerna, so if you ever want to like hire me to come out there, I could have a chance to come out and work with you with Prerna and teach an entire staff or two all about the wonderful things that music does.
That would be amazing.
I normally take, I think so too, I could get to meet those granddaughters. And you too, Alan, in person. But all the stuff, I take them through like 6 hours, if that's what they want, on how to go through a circle time, what it's doing for the child, how to keep music a part of your daily routines and why you should do so. Some people will tell me, well, I can't sing. I have a terrible voice. Kids could care less what you sound like. They don't care. They just interpret your singing with them to like, oh, she loves me. He loves me. He's singing with me. They don't care. And it has to start from when they're a baby. I was just like tickled pink that my 5-month-old granddaughter, now, if I pick up Mr. Froggy and start singing the Mr. Froggy song, she leans right in and just starts giggling. It's that connection that you can create through music and a song with the prop and I know I'm skipping over things, but I'm so used to doing this for anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. I'm trying to cram it in. So, and get you peaked. So you'll be like, you know what? We do want her to come to Texas. So the frontal lobe here, right? When you connect, and I know that Prerna talks about this, the eye-to-eye contact that releases the dopamine, the oxytocin, the endorphins, helps you learn to connect to people. And when you sing, you're enhancing that connection because you're getting another part of the brain involved. So the benefits of singing are that it enhances those moments. It is for health reasons. And there's a relationship to phonemic awareness. So I'm going to switch back to the screens for a second. And move this back down out of my way. There we go. And I'm going to show you a few screens. I don't know why it keeps going back to the beginning on me, but we'll deal with it. So we talked about how it's helped. People who dance once a week reduce the risk of Alzheimer's or dementia by 79%. That's all you have to do is dance, and you reduce your risk of Alzheimer's or dementia. Playing an instrument reduces it by 79%. So, you know, they always say you can't be angry with someone when you're dancing with them or sharing a meal. You know, it's like it's a glue that connects people. You don't need to know the words to connect with people through dance or music. There's the symbols. You see how similar they are? The medicine just has 2 extra things at the top.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay. So I was talking about singing with Mr. Froggy. That's not my granddaughter, but darn cute little girl. You have this puppet and you sing to a child with the puppet. They try to sing back. Do we care whether they sing the song back correctly? No. We're listening to see if they could start to follow a melody. Being able to follow a melody is related to better phonemic awareness. So instead of stressing kids out and testing them, all you have to do is sing with them and listen. And if you hear they're having problems following direction, following a melody, then there's most likely a disconnect, and it can be worked on by singing with them more. Now, I teach for Johns Hopkins Early Steps program, and I work with children that are identified as having some sort of developmental delay. And it is amazing to me. And this is just children from birth to 3 years old, because once they turn 3 and they go into the preschool system here in Florida, then they're no longer eligible for this early intervention program called Early Steps. So one of the things the parents come up to me is like, I cannot believe how much better my child is talking and trying to talk since we started doing these activities with you. Well, when children can get a steady beat, not only are they better at phonemic awareness, but they become better readers and more successful in math. They also have less aggressive physical contact. Now, everyone should be able to find and keep a steady beat for 2 to 3 minutes by the age of 3. That is amazing. So why is this so important? Because this helps us for balance. Now, do we need to let babies know that? No, because instinctually, what do babies do? Instinctually, babies are bouncing. They automatically start doing it because once they can find and keep that steady beat for 2 to 3 minutes, then they can be ready to stand up and talk. Because if they can internalize rhythm, they can get balance. Okay, so is all of this making sense? And, stop me anywhere. Okay, so we want to start, this is why we do pat a cake with babies. Now, when children are engaging their hands and clapping, all the nerves in the hand are getting aggravated. Yes, that's the word I wanted to say. Activated, the end activated, all the nerves in the hand. And so what does that mean? Their fingers are going to be able to move better. They're being able to do flat hands. This is what we're working on with the baby now. She's still doing this, right? She's still not opening the hand. So we're starting to do those games like round ball, where you're, moving your hands in there. So I don't know, Lacey, are you familiar with Dr. Becky Bailey's I Love You rituals? Because she does some of this work too.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you're talking about all this. She's actually doing I'm going to a rage training with her in November. And I'm so excited about it. And actually, she's got a great podcast right now that and I can't think of his name, but it's on their site, and it's a guy who's implementing some of the music and the rhythm and the things like that in conscious discipline. He has like a care room or a rage room where some of the more aggressive children, and they're seeing huge improvement in the children's behaviors and things like that by implementing a weekly, kind of an activity group where they're doing some
Wonderful.
movement things. So I
Wonderful.
was going to ask you just something that just popped into my brain whenever you said, if we had any questions. Do you feel like things like Go Noodle and the, just more of the electronics, do you feel like that's kind of depleting the connection piece of that? Because we're not face to face, we're not singing a cappella. What do you think?
Okay, so a couple of things, and to back up one moment there. One of the reasons I asked about Becky Bailey
Sorry.
is because, no, because it's all going to connect to the question you asked. Is she was my advisor when I was doing my master's. And so the I Love You rituals, my master's thesis was setting them to music. So if you ever hear them, I'm singing them. And so she taught me all of these things. The one-on-one eye contact is extremely important for reasons beyond the connection, but also mirror neurons, which Becky talks a lot about. Okay, so I never heard of this Noodle. Is that a screen program?
Yeah, it's basically, it's kind of like watching YouTube and doing music and movement with YouTube on the screen. And I've noticed, like, in my classroom, it was kind of before the Go Noodle era. I'm not so much in the classroom and able to do circle times and things like that anymore. But what I'm seeing, the kids are and they're dancing and they're up in front of the TV and the teacher is standing behind them. And so that connection piece is not there. Whenever I was leading circle time, I just sang. We made up songs to everything under the sun and sang some that we knew and some that we just pretended we knew. And it was, it was very engaging for the kids. But you don't see teachers doing that so much anymore. We're all afraid of, we're judged by a 3-year-old. I don't know, but
Go Noodle, Lacey, I've also seen it. The Go Noodle, which classrooms I've seen, they're using it for movement and music just to get the kids moving like a brain break. But to your point, if you're not making up and having creative, you're losing a piece. But Mayor could talk more about that.
And we actually, one of the recent spotlights that we did with the Early Childhood Global Mastermind Group was talking with I forget who it was on the importance of no screens. And so I believe Ben Franklin's philosophy of everything in moderation, including moderation. I don't think children should never on a screen, because when my daughter was little, The Little Mermaid saved my life on several occasions. So it's like everything else, moderation. And some of those things are good, but too much of it is not good. The best interaction is person to person. And it's also a little bit of an improvement, which you already noticed, Lacey, is that the teacher should be up standing next to the video, mirroring for the children. That would increase the benefits a lot.
Yeah.
And also shutting the video off and saying, can we do that without? The other thing is technologically, one of the things is Becky and I had taken a training with someone on kinesiology. And one of the things she taught was that when children are listening to digitized music all the time, meaning music that comes through a screen or a CD player or through some kind of electronic device, it's cutting off the overtones. So it is condensing their ability to hear. So when you hear live voice, you're hearing the tone, the main tone, and you're hearing 6 tones over it and 6 tones under it. They're called overtones. And so your ear expands to try to get all that sound in. When you digitize, it cuts most of them away. And so the human ear is not capable of hearing as many tones as it used to be because we are losing the need for it.
I had no idea. Wow, I just learned something from you. I always learn something new when I talk to you, listen to you. That's amazing. I had no idea.
Thank you. Yeah,
Wow.
it's interesting.
Lacey, would you share the podcast that you had referenced in the chat, and maybe we can share that in the mastermind group?
Oh yeah,
The podcast, yeah, the podcast that you had mentioned. And where is this rave happening? Is it in Texas? Is it in Florida? Can
So this
anybody
one,
go?
they do different places, and you can get on her consciousdiscipline.com and see the different places, but we're doing it in Austin. It's going to be, I think, I want to say off the top of my head, November 9th.
Okay, I just want to make sure we can capture these resources and Alan can put them on the
that's a good
mastermind
one.
group.
Yeah,
Who
Becky
knows?
and I,
Benefit for
we've
some.
kind of lost connection with each other, but I talk to her occasionally. I would love to go to one of those. I'm so glad to hear that she's doing that. That's going to be an awesome opportunity for you, like almost like life changing, because I mean, when my daughter was little, she was always in with us on stuff, and one time she just, as a teenager, just and I called up and I went in her room and I took a deep breath and I said, Joya, you sound very frustrated. Your facial expression looks angry with me, and I would like you. She goes, don't you dare Becky Bailey me. I was like, okay. So I left the room and I called up Becky and I'm like, Becky, let me tell you just what happened with Joya. What do I do about this? And Becky goes, oh, tell her I love her. I go, Beck, that does not help me. But the thing is, like those things, even when we start doing them, the children learn them as well. So it's really cool to pass down generationally, and then every generation gets better, and also, which brings me to another thing about music teaching emotions. So when a child is really, really frustrated, say you go into a classroom, right? And you get in there and everybody's just bouncing off the wall. I always like to make a joke where a little boy says, ooh, I had pancake syrup, but no pancakes, and you're like, what do I do? And so many people will say, put on quiet classical music. But that's not, first of all, classical music's not all quiet. You got the flight of the bumblebee, da 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 dun 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 crash. Like that's not going to calm people down. So it's not the genre, it's the tempo that will affect your behaviors. So when a class is full of energy, and you need them to calm, because one of the things Prerna covers, the strongest emotion in the classroom is going to rule the room. And you don't accomplish that by telling a child to calm down. Just like if you're upset about something and the person you live with says to you, oh, just calm down, there might be a broken plate or two. So with the child, you find their emotion and meet it with music. So if the children have a lot of energy, put on a song that has a lot of energy, get their attention. And then the next song is slower until you bring them to where you need them to be. That works so much better than trying to reason with them when they're in their brainstem. Because when they're down there and they're in survival mode, you can tell them to calm down all you want. But if you put on a song that goes, jump, 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 which is one of my songs, and I love to use it because they're like, everybody jump now. And next thing you know, you've got their attention. You've got all their energy at the same level, and you're in charge of bringing it back to where you want it to be. Okay, does that make sense?
So I have a question. So if we match their energy and their high energy, because today in the coaching call, we were talking about very noisy, hyperactive classrooms.
Mhm.
And if we match their energy with high tempo music, what would be the way you would suggest to bring it all down? Because now we've got them all up here.
Right.
And what would you suggest to do?
You go to a calmer song, go to one then that like Head and Shoulders, baby, 1, 2, 3, Head and Shoulders, baby, 1, 2, 3, and then after that it's everybody pat your head, everybody pat your head. And so you would jump to the next song to feel calm. And that takes what, 5, 6 minutes?
Okay.
And which is
Okay.
much less time than reasoning. Now, I'm not discounting the individual child in that group that might need something else,
Mhm.
and then that is something that does need to be separated and individually handled, but the majority of the children will be directed by the music. Did I answer you?
Yeah,
Is that-
you did.
I
The
was
other-
going to ask even further than
You
Prerna's
were just here
question,
to watch. No, go ahead.
even deeper than Prerna's question, the sort of opposite to the exciting music is a lullabies, is putting the child in a very calm state. And young infants, there are certain traditional lullabies that seem to work, Rockabye Baby. It's nothing to do with the words, obviously, because if they understood that when the bough breaks and down will come,
Yeah, you're going to crash, kid.
that's not going to make them quieter. So there must be something in the rhythm or the music that appeals to the baby. And, babies don't come pre-programmed with a preference. So I was very interested, you mentioned at the beginning about, certain intervals or whatever are more effective. And
A lot of the lullabies do use the minor third, like the lullaby and good night, a rockabye baby, very lilting, but that kind of music produces serotonin and it helps to calm. And I think I have a screen for that. I'll pop it back up in a second. But right, they don't know the words. But then again, Becky Bailey changed the words to rockabye baby here in my arms. So that you're not talking about, or the lady that goes to the store and she lost her sheep and she doesn't know where to find them. Leave them alone, they'll come home. Like, how many of you have ever gone to Publix, come home and said, oh, well, I lost one? You don't, and so her lyrics will say that, she doesn't go home till she finds her child, so sometimes lyrics do matter, and as they get older, you do have to pay attention because their value system is getting put into place by the time they're 7, by the end of their 7th year of life. So if you're putting garbage in, then garbage is going to come out gigo, and they might not really understand all the lyrics, but if kids start listening to lyrics that are disrespectful and hurtful, then that's what's going to come out. And that is going to become part of what they think is acceptable. So always be careful with the lyrics. Like I do a version of Papa's Gonna Buy You a Mockingbird, but I switch it. So, and then again, that's a lullaby. Bum, 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 bum. They're all pretty much the same tempo. And so, anyway, before I divert myself again, in that lyric, it says, if that diamond ring don't shine, Papa's gonna tell you that's just fine. Because all the little baby needs to know is Papa's gonna love you from head to toe, right? That's what's important. So they did studies on this and they found that it had to do with the amount of beats in in a measure, not in a measure, amount of beats per minute.
Mm.
And so if you go the certain amount of beats per minute, it activates the part of the brain that tells you slow down, maybe close your eyes. You know, so interestingly, fast food restaurants grabbed a hold of this research. And they found that if you had so many beats per minute, people would move real fast. So during rush hour, if you're in McDonald's or Carl Jr.'s in Texas, right? And you're running, you know, it's rush hour. If you hear the music, it's usually fast music. Get in, get out, put some food in your mouth, but you know. But then when all of a sudden it's empty, they play slower music. So your brain gets the message, relax. Maybe go back up and buy an apple pie. Have a cup of coffee, you know? So it affects you depending on the amount of beats per minute. So lullabies stick to a certain formula. That's my long answer to the, should have been a short. So can I show you a few more slides? Okay. Same. Bring this down, see where we were. Here's where we were. And this is about the hand clapping. And whenever I put these up on Facebook, I always put the research. And I did it for the TED Talk too, just saying. 3 times a day that had the greatest impact on a child are the first 3 minutes after they wake up, 3 minutes after they come home from school, and the last 3 minutes of the day before they go to bed, go to sleep. When you add music to those moments, it enhances the impact a lot. I do not have a percentage, but it just enhances it because you are activating more parts of the brain. You activate the hippocampus with the memory of, yeah, this is what mama do every night. This is my routine for going to bed. And it activates the emotional part of the brain as well.
Have you been telling the teachers, Mayor, that the children that are most challenging to you, use this 9-minute trick with them? 3 minutes in the morning, 3 minutes at nap time, and 3 minutes before you send them home.
There you
to
go.
deposit. Yeah, it works. It works.
It does. So the singing makes vibrations through your body and alters your physical and emotional well-being, produces endorphins and oxytocin. So this is why they, in Catholic school, I grew up in a Catholic school, they used to make us sing all the time. I think they understood part of the idea of what happened when people sing. I wasn't going to go over this slide, and I know this is something, Perna, you've probably seen about the study from Harvard on how more children are having mental health issues now, and they're attributing a lot of it to that we aren't doing things like playing games out in the playground without any adult intervention and singing the songs together and jumping rope, and it is really impacting our children. Okay. I wanted to get to something here. Come on. They did a study in Switzerland, where you just came back from, and they found that children with more music in their studies learned to like each other more, enjoyed school more, so did the teachers, and they're less stressed out. Okay. Students are less aggressive when there's music. And especially when you could sing songs about, you know, like Barney's very simple, you know, song, I love you, you love me. What child doesn't want to hear that? I like to take songs, like you were mentioning, Alan, about the Rockabye Baby, and change them, like Bunny Foo Foo, you know, he hits mice and then he gets punished for it, and nobody ever talks to him about, why did you hit the mouse? You know, or talk to the mouse about, hey, you can tell him to stop. So in my version, it addresses that, and we sing the song that way.
Did you know that Barney came from Plano, where we live?
No, I do not.
Yes, Barney comes from you.
Check it out.
Texas has a lot of cool talent coming out.
Yeah, you do. So I have a song called Will You Hug Me? And in the song, we're learning body parts and adverbs. Put your hands above your head. Put your hands below your knees. Put yourself beside a friend. Turn toward them and ask them, please, will you hug me? And of course, we do talk about that you have a right to say, I really don't want to be hugged, but I like you, you know. So we're teaching children that empowerment as well. But we do want people to feel comfortable with hugs because you need 4 to survive, 8 for maintenance, and 12 for growth. So
Can you put that slide back on or post it on my Facebook, maybe afterwards, and I'll share it? The number of
yeah,
hugs. I think that's a cool fun fact with number of hugs. If you post it on Together We Grow or with Prerna, I'll share it out. And maybe we
okay.
can put that on the group as well.
It's
I
not
think
letting me go backwards.
yeah, it's fine. When you get a chance. It's a fun fact, right? It's a cool fact.
I think so. I think it's a very fun fact.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, can you believe that?
It's fine. You just post it on my
They
Facebook.
have a mind of their own sometimes. I knew I clicked it. But you
I
see,
know.
also, that's another learning experience. Like when you're doing something like this with kids and you go, oh my God, that wasn't what I wanted to do. What are they learning? That when something doesn't go exactly right, it just gets you out of sorts.
Mhm.
No, and it shouldn't. See, like right now, it just keeps going back anyway. So we're going to show that there's other ways to get to where you want to be.
That's all cool. Don't worry. Don't stress. It's all good.
So anyway,
Yeah, it's all good.
stop this share. So there, you can teach children from the very beginning, very simple instruments. I put a kazoo in every child's mouth from when they are, oh, my kazoo is missing. Okay. A kazoo is so easy to play.
We have 10 more minutes. If you want to do a song to end us out, that would be great. If you want to,
Okay.
whatever, something fun. I know you had your guitar near you, so
I
go for
do.
whatever.
I sang a couple of songs anyway. A kazoo is really functional. I do a whole paper on it in my book. There's a whole section because when you hum in the kazoo, it vibrates all the bones in your head, and that activates it. I'm sorry, it vibrates all the bones in your head, which energizes your brain. So when they're playing the kazoo, that's what's happened. But they're also learning inner voice because they have to think about what sound they want to come out of the kazoo and make it happen. So a child has to think, all right, let's play happy birthday. Well, and then and make it happen. And they can be successful immediately. So I love doing the kazoos with the children, children that are having problems with language development. They have a little bit of control of their mouth. So also exercises all the muscles in the mouth, all around the lips and the control. So get kazoos. And one of the things was I put up, see if I can get it. There's a place that makes kazoos. So they are actually the only place, there's 2 companies in the United States that make kazoos. And you don't want to buy fake kazoos because then you don't get the benefit of, is it going forward or backwards? There we go. You don't get the benefits. So when you're playing a kazoo, like look at that mom and daughter, how much fun they were having together. You process the ability to think and listen internally. So for children that are in 2nd, 3rd grade, and they have to start doing silent sustained reading, this also helps for that. But this company is one of the best for if you ever wanted to get kazoos. Please, I don't make money off this. I'm not trying to. I just want you to know that if you are going to use kazoos, use real ones. Don't buy them from Oriental Trading, because those are not going to be as helpful. They're just toys, and they don't produce the same magic. See, these are just kids I'm having fun with. If you're doing the best you can under your current circumstances, pick up your heels and dance. This is my contact information, and Prerna knows how to get in touch with me, so I'll leave that up. But all
I
my
think
music,
everybody should follow you on Facebook. You give nice tips, and maybe you can share it with other people, you know, on your team and stuff, because it's good brain information tips that you're sharing. It's really good stuff you're putting out there. So it's free.
thank you. I
Yeah.
invite you to please follow that page and share. I'm not the kind of person that's going to say, that's mine. You know, I put it out there so that people can share it. And the same with the songs. The songs are all up on YouTube. And I know right now, a lot of people are doing the little old lady that wasn't afraid of anything because it's October. And I just crack up at all the teachers that have used my, song for that. It's on YouTube. They have most of the songs there just as the music by itself, so you can put it on. But some of them, like the Wide Mouth Bullfrog, this gets children's attention. And what does that translate into? I want to read, because books sure look interesting. I'm a wide mouth bullfrog. I eat bugs. Now, when it goes on, at the end, the alligator. And he says, don't see many of them around here. So the kids love it, but I also post on my on Facebook page, how can you make a mouth like that? So the children can be moving their own frog while you're doing it. You get more involved, right? So I like to provide as many of those things as I can. I'm going to take 30 seconds and just play a verse from this one song with the importance of teaching children to be creative and think outside the box. And music is a wonderful way to help children to be creative. You got a box of crayons, colored pencils too. Get some pretty paper, see what you can do. Be yourself, don't need to draw what you were shown. These tools are yours. You're on your own. Sorry. So make your own pictures and draw outside the lines. Make a purple cow. That would be fine. March to your own drummer. Sing in your own key. You're just expressing yourself. Creativity. That's just a song I like to sing to the kids about, where the next verse talks about wearing stripes and polka dots, putting your hair in pigtails. You don't care. It's something you enjoy, do it. And
Awesome.
music is a wonderful way to get children to feel good about who they are. And whenever a child sings for you, you cheer them on. You cheer them on. And so in closing, I have a little story, unless you have a question, but I had a little girl, and I was teaching in a Catholic school, and we were getting ready to sing for midnight mass for Christmas. And this little girl was in chorus. She was a monotone. She could not change pitch to save her life. And sister said to me, she cannot sing at midnight mass. We need to make God hear a beautiful sound, not Amy's voice. And I said, sister, God gave her that voice. Let's make it shine. So I gave her a song called Monotone Angel. And the rest of the chorus sang this song about this girl that could only sing on one note. And then she got up and went, I am a monotone angel. And she loved it. 2 years ago, a woman reaches out to me on Facebook. She said, Marianne, I used to teach with you. at Holy Family School. And I said, yeah, I remember you. She goes, I just want you to know that Amy is a professional singer. And I'm like, yes, my monotone angel. Yay.
Wow.
What a
That's
difference you make. When a child stands up and thinks they can do something, who are you to tell them no?
That's right. I didn't
So-
have that sister in that convent school I went to because I can't hold a tone. I can hear a tone, can tone deaf, and Alan is a
Everybody
musician,
can.
so total opposite.
Everybody can. So
But
did you
Claire,
have
this was amazing. Thank you for sharing your gift and talent and making time for us. It's so appreciated. Thank you for sharing so generously.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I love getting to talk with people and spread the praises of music, sing the praises, right?
You are advocating for music, my friend. We hear your passion. We hear your passion.
Thank
Any
you.
questions, any wonderings, any comments? I'll open it up to everybody before we wrap up.
Yeah, and all the songs, like even that last one I played, are on Spotify, Apple, what's the other one? Amazon, Alexa, you know. My nephew lives in Texas, and his mother said that last week, a couple of weeks ago, he was standing in front of the Alexa and going, Alexa, play my Aunt Mare. No, no, Alexa, stop.
That's funny. Alexa's playing for real in your room. That's funny.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
does anybody want to say anything in closing?
Just thank you. It was very interesting. I'm following your page, so I'm excited to learn some more. I'm always interested in the brain.
thank you. Well, check out the book, The Building Brains with Music. It's very simple, simple read. It's got some great ideas in it. And like I said, at the end, there's a code and you can download any of the songs I talk about that are in the book. You get it as one download. I think there's like 30 songs.
Okay.
So
We'll put the link of the book also in the Circle app. I have it on my Amazon and I'll put it on the Circle app as well and spread the word.
does.
And whoever would definitely like to promote good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please spread the word. Thank you, Angela. I know that was a lot of extra effort, so thank you for.
No, well, it was wonderful and great, and I'm actually with my son, and he just learned some stuff about music, so
All right.
he
Yes.
liked it too. So yes, I think it's wonderful. And I mean, I always say to my teachers, like, it doesn't matter what song you sing as long as you sing it. I always make it up as I'm going. Oh, Miss Angela don't know the words, but I keep on adding something because the kids don't care as long as you're doing
That's
something.
right.
You
So-
must be
That is so
driving
true.
a long distance, huh? Because your place is like so small. Like, where are you driving? Like around Texas somewhere.
Yes, I had to pick up my son from his grandmother's house, and it's about an hour away.
Oh, okay then. That's what it
Yeah.
was.
Yes.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, thank you, Mayor. I appreciate
Thank
you
You're
you.
so
welcome. Thank
much.
you.